Welcome to the Midweek Refuel. Okay, we're a day late, but we're not $1 short. I totally was running around yesterday and could not do the Midweek Refuel. So I'm here with you today to just give you some encouragement for your fight. You know, for the week of, I do not have on my watch. Oh no, for the week of, what's today? February 13th. No, is it February 13th? Yes, Thursday. February 13th, 2020. Better known as Galentine's Day. So to all my gals out there, happy Galentine's Day. I love you. I hope that you're having a good day. Get yourself a drink today, whether it be water, wine, juice, or coffee. Get yourself a drink and toast to having great girlfriends, you know. So Galentine's Day is something that we used to celebrate. This year we're not celebrating it too much because I've been so busy. But this is your midweek refuel for February 13th, even though it was supposed to be done on February 12th. So I was sitting watching a video with my son, and the video was about Marines who were learning how to get out of a helicopter when it rolled. And they were showing the training of that, you know, rolled helicopter. Of the rolled helicopter, and how they train them in a pool, and how they flip the helicopter upside down, and they have all these steps that they must do, which includes taking a breath, even though they feel like the water is going up their nose, and even though they feel like they might be drowning. There were some steps. And one step was, when you flip over, the first thing you have to do is put your mouthpiece in and take a breath. And in the time that you're supposed to be taking a breath, water is shooting in your nose. So that's kind of scary. I thought that was just the scariest thing. I'm not a big water fan, so that really was a scary thing for me. So the next step was to do something with your, tether yourself to your seat so that you can find your bearings. And then unhook your seat, find where you're supposed to exit, and then exit to the top of the pool. And all this time we're watching this, and I'm just thinking, wow, when they simulated a helicopter, because, okay, they talked about a plane, because it has wings, when it hits the water, if it, God forbid, crashes, when it hits the water, it kind of hits and it just kind of sits and sinks because the wings are out. And you'll see people come out on the wings and, you know, they can go to safety. But with a helicopter, since the things that whirl, I can't remember the name of it, call it Lupus fog, I don't know. They will make it roll. And if you're in that situation where the helicopter did not, you know, explode or anything, you have to get out. So they simulated that roll and them going underwater upside down. Some of these people couldn't even swim. And I just had a thought, like, that's what lupus feels like. Like, you'll be just, you know, walking around in your life, just doing your own thing. And all of a sudden, you feel like you are underwater, the water's gushing through your nose, and it's just so hard to get your bearings and really go on with your day. So within the whole simulation that they were doing, some of the guys were failing. And the guys came up and was like, you really have to be calm. And for me, throughout my day, sometimes I liken it to how I can relate it to lupus and how I can relate it to my life as I beat lupus daily. So when he said be calm, it really hit me, because sometimes when we're going through so much stuff with lupus, it's hard to be calm. It really does feel like you're drowning. You know, it feels like you're upside down in water and you can't get your bearings, and you don't know where to go. And sometimes we panic. Sometimes we panic when we get a flare. Sometimes we panic when things come up and that are unexpected with our health. And it really begins to feel like you are underwater, upside down, drowning. And what I took from this whole thing was, one, when you feel that way, take a breath. We say this all the time. We've been doing the Monday meditations. Just stop and just take a deep breath and release it. Remember, if you have children, or if you know children, or if you're a teacher, or if you've been around children, you would tell your kids when they got so upset, just take a breath. It really does make a difference. It calms down your mind, and it allows you to take time to do what you're supposed to do. So when you're feeling like this flare is so overwhelming, I can't deal with it, I feel like I'm drowning, stop and take a breath. You can clear your mind, and then you can find the way to find the steps to get out of this flare. Now, that doesn't mean that if you take a breath and release it, that it's all going to go away. No, we know that's not even realistic. What a breath does is that it sends these neurons to your brain that really help to calm you down. And that's why we used to tell our children, I still tell my 22-year-old, why don't you just stop and take a breath? Just stop, take a breath. Now you're in your right frame of mind to find the steps to change your reality in your flare. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, stop and take a breath. This way you can be calm in dealing with your flare. You can make appropriate steps to deal with it. Okay, so what would be some steps? Steps like, all right, I need to calm down. Steps like, okay, I need to make a plan as to how I'm going to move around the day through the pain. Steps like, maybe if I use some tips like washing the dishes to get my hands to move, or walking down the steps and then walking back up and getting back in the bed, just to get my body moving and feeling just a little bit better. You have time to take that breath and make those steps to get through the flare. So I guess the word for the day is, the words for the day are stop and breathe so that you can be calm enough to make steps to get through a flare. It's hard. Flares are hard. Fogs are hard. Lupus fogs are difficult. Lupus flares are difficult. But if we stop, if we are able to take a breath, clear our mind, and make steps to get out of the flare, that will help us tremendously. And sometimes the flare can last really long, but you still need steps to be calm in that flare, because we know stress it exacerbates lupus. So if you're calm, you can stop, take a breath, and you can still make plans to say, okay, well, this is going to be painful for a little while, so let me just rest in this pain for a minute and breathe through it. And then when that pain subsides, I'm going to get up, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to walk around, because I want to make sure that this pain does not come back the same as it did the first time. So, your midweek refuel, a day late, not $1 short, is when you are in a flare, take a breath, calm your mind, then make the steps to get out of the flare. I hope that the rest of your week goes well. I will be on time next week, but everything happens for a reason. Sometimes things are late, and that's fine. But I'm here today, all right? So have a great rest of your week, even though Friday is coming and the weekend is here. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovers out there. And I hope that you have a good weekend. I'll see you next week on Monday. Well, you'll hear me next week, Monday, and you'll see me next week on Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.